before we get started, I'm Brandon.
And I'm Sierra. I'm gonna do the intro like that. Why?
Cause she was already on her tangent, so I wanted.
Little did you know we've been talking for an hour, and I was like, "Oh yeah, let's talk about this." And then he was like, "Yeah, let's just do an intro in the middle of it." Like,
yeah, we just finished our bonus content for subscribed listeners, where we talk about things in deeper detail, and deeper, more navigating stories. So this led into what our final
episode. Well, yes,
yeah, season one episode or
episode whatever number it is, because we don't keep count.
Yeah, this is the final. This is the final one. This is the final round.
Season.
Yeah, final episode of our season.
Yep.
And we spent the entire season talking about
how to communicate,
our styles of communication, experiences in communication, and I feel like
now we need to touch on how to know when to stop.
Yeah, I really think it's important for us to talk about when is it. Excuse me.
We had wings earlier, so
that was so sexy. And I can't, and we can't tell them what we had because that's an advertising issue. But
that was funny.
it was funny, so funny, just like throwing those loose eyes at me. But anyway, I
actually have a really good story about how when we were talking about this earlier and trying to figure out what. So we have a little dilemma because Brandon and I come at this topic from two different angles that don't gel at all, but they come to the same conclusion, and we're trying to, I guess, kind of figure out like how to navigate the middle ground and like, you know,
or even like, if there is a middle ground.
Yeah. So I don't personally have a problem stopping communication with somebody because I'm kind of, I guess, like 1 foot out the door until you prove otherwise kind of deal. So
you're always 1 foot out.
Yeah.
Barely 1 in.
Yeah.
I'm always 1 foot in and barely 1 foot out.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah.
So, and it's weird because I feel like you should be the other way around. But
I'm learning to be. Because I also think for me, I also learned what it was like to put both feet in.
Oh, true. Yeah. So for me, I don't have a problem just stopping communication with somebody. I don't feel bad. I don't there's no mincing of words about it or feelings. It's just, it's very, we talked about like with me, certain people just draw energy out of me. Mm-hmm. And if you like interacting with someone can take energy from you, it can give energy to you because the engagement is thrilling and it's like whatever, but some people just fucking suck the life out of you. And even if that person hasn't wronged me per se, I'm not going to continue to choose to interact with that person on the daily because they take so much energy. That's not in my best interest. And because when I say energy, I don't mean like, oh, that person's annoying. I mean, like, I don't have the energy to go to the gym anymore because that person took so much energy from me. That's what that feels like to me. That's how it feels. And that's not being dramatic or like, you know me, like I'll just, if I want to go to the gym, I'll go to the gym. But like, if someone takes enough energy from me that I don't have the mental, emotional, and energy. Like, I just feel weak. Like, I just don't, like, I don't have it in me. It just knocks the winds out of my sails. Why the hell do I have an incentive to keep that person in my life? Bye. Like, that's so easy for me.
I would say you're very lucky to have that type of response because a lot of people, and I'm one of them, who necessarily doesn't get a physical exhaustion. There is a mental one, and I always used to say you can snap out of a mental exhaustion by blah blah blah. But sometimes that mental does lead into a physical. I mean, my previous behavior around any high intense something was to fall asleep.
Me too.
I would be like, I need to go lay down.
You say that's not physical? What are you talking about?
Because mentally, I guess, yeah, maybe that's true. Maybe it is not. Maybe it is true. That is physical. But yeah, my physical drain was to lay down. Stress, drama, annoyance, frustration, whatever. If someone did that to me, I'd be like, I need to lay down. I need to lay down right now. And I could already have my plan for the day,
and just had 2 cups of coffee,
and
still gonna go lay down,
and had like, a fucking yeah. And I'm like, I need to go lay down for a minute.
And not even like you will sleep.
I fall asleep. I have a hard time falling asleep. So let somebody drain the fuck out of me. I'm out.
Yeah,
or like let something stress me out for no legitimate reason to where I'm not empowered to solve it. Mm-hmm. This ain't my circus. These ain't my fucking monkeys. Why am I here? Like, you know, it's one of those things. So like, I was like, okay, I need to go take a nap. I feel like my brain has to reset back to what I was originally fucking motivated, powered, tasked to do, mm-hmm. because I let this fucking shit do this to me. And I was gonna say, so stop communicating, I think, is one. Cutting someone off is another. Do you agree or disagree?
What the hell does stop communicating mean if you doesn't mean
cutting someone off? Like, stop communicating means I'm not, like, I can stop communicating with you right now. Like, I could be like, boop, I'm not communicating with you. You know, or I'm just gonna sit here and stare at you.
Okay, no, never mind.
No, I'm gonna sit here and stare at you.
What the hell is the point of that?
It's not communicating.
Okay.
But cutting someone off.
Okay, but listen to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's be really fucking, and all this will Do you need to move? Are you good? Okay. This will put my perspective very clearly into your brain.
Okay, cool.
Let's say that you and I decided to go out to do this right now. We're gonna go have lunch or like do something.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And let's just say in the middle of it, I decided to stop talking to you. Why did I show up to lunch? Why did I invite you? Why did you agree to come? If you knew that was gonna, happen.
Okay.
Like, okay. What? Okay. So when you say, what's the difference between not communicating and cutting off?
There isn't a difference.
What? Like,
and there just went my nail. I've been fidgeting with it all day, and it just came
I know.
Off. Thank God. I'll throw that away later.
Just leave it as a little gift.
The things we do at Still Production Studios.
My voice cracks so hard.
Yeah, I just need you to come on.
But does that make my perspective clear?
It does make your perspective clear.
Are you good? Hold on, that was a big chip. Are you good?
Yeah, it just looks like Freddy Krueger had a fight with my nail. It's fine.
Okay.
For me, yes, I think I have been associating those two so. But then again, as a person who's a people pleaser, I think I had to negotiate which one was easier to enact and do. I just have to stop talking to them. No, I cut this person off. Bitch is the same thing. Bitch stay red. And if people who know Willem Belly, Bitch It's Red, it's from one of his shows on YouTube. So maybe if they know that, I keep throwing all my like body shavings on this table.
Oh my God.
Body shavings. Man, this is a great ending of our episode.
Oh my God. Are you sure?
I had to just move my knee.
Do you need to move your mic? Are you good?
No, we're good. I had
okay.
to.
For the people who are going to listen to this on Podbean, I'm sorry that you can't see all this fuckery because it's not funny when you can't see.
But if you want to see all this fuckery, watch our YouTube channel.
Yeah,
Still
it's better.
Podcast.
You gotta watch us. Can you imagine how we must sound if you're not watching us? Oh, it'd be horrific. I feel like you gotta watch us on YouTube.
We're gonna find out. I hope so. Hope we've already found out, but we've pre-recorded our entire season, so it's fine.
Right. No, but so I think that clears it up, right? Like that's when I say it's easy to just stop communicating with somebody. Like that is it. Like if you don't feel like it's worth it, if you don't feel like it's worth it to go spit. Sorry. If you don't feel like it's worth it to just talk to somebody, why else is it okay to keep any part of them around in your life for any reason? Like, if you don't even want to talk to them, why would they, like, how else could they stay in your life that would matter, that's worth holding on to?
You're making me super reflect on how ridiculous my life has been with people that I've just let linger.
Like, that's how I
feel like such a wimp because there are so many people in my life that passed and, you know, they just let linger. Like, I don't think I talked to you in like ages, but you're still like, you called and like, oh, cool. Like, I just didn't like, you know, I didn't sever the cord.
Well, I mean, but that doesn't have to be like, you know, if for whatever reason.
I'm not talking to you, click.
Like, yeah, like it could be
like that. No.
You know, if someone that you hadn't talked to, we might be thinking about different things, but if you had somebody that you used to be connected with, maybe you had a falling out with, not in a negative way, but like we're not we're not jiving no more. You're doing this thing, I'm doing that thing, and we're just not.
Dating life was a lot of that. Like,
yeah,
we're just not jiving, boo boo. So
now, as long as that person hasn't done anything that like wronged you or made you feel some kind of way, and you just lost touch for
life
just
happens.
life, you
Yeah,
know,
life
and
happens,
then they
yeah.
called you up. I'm not saying like, oh, I'm not speaking to you. Like that's not what has to happen.
No, okay.
But I would definitely be curious. I'd be like, oh hey, haven't talked to you in a minute. Like, what's up? What's going through your mind? What made you pick up the phone? What's going on? That's where I would be. I'd be like,
ladies and gentlemen, and all in between, that is the Sierra moment right there, where she'd be like,
what?
Thanks for calling. Well, what's up? Why you like? What you been? What you doing? Like, she's going to get to the bottom of it because her bullshit meter has already started the clock. Already started the clock.
No, but listen though.
Oh no! If you watch episode 2 or 3 where she talks about or I talk about her bullshit meter, this is literally her still staying true to her value, being like, I don't deal with bullshit. Even if you were my friend and you've been gone, you gotta go through my bullshit boot camp.
Yeah, like, why the fuck you just calling me up after 5 years and not talking to me? Like, what? What are you? Did you do you know where I'm at? And you moved local. Maybe you guys separated physically. You moved to different states. You calling me because you at my state now? Can we go hang out? Are you calling me because you're pregnant? Are you calling me because you got somebody pregnant? Like, what? What happened? Like, what's going on?
Today live, we're gonna sign up on Sierra's bullshit boot camp. Like that.
There's gotta be a reason. Something happened that made them think of you. That made them. If they have not talked to you in over 5 years, something happened. Something made them think of you.
Okay, so.
And if I had not thought of them in the same amount of time, obviously they weren't that significant. So you made some kind of fucking impact in their life for them to be like, I need to call this person for this thing because this happened and I don't even know why it matters. But this is what I feel drawn to. Something happened. And so I want, what is it? Tell me.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay.
And I'll listen, but
even then I can just hear the beep, 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 beep. Bullshit.
Well, yeah.
Bullshit.
It might be bullshit. And if I detect that it is bullshit, then I will gracefully excuse myself from the bullshit. I don't have to be rude about it.
I love it that it's not the conversation. I'm gonna excuse myself from the bullshit.
Yeah.
Not the person on the conversation, because at that point it's all bullshit.
Yeah. If you called me because you just felt like I'm known to be a good listener, right? And so if you called me to only use me as a listener, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna put my ass on mute and go do my laundry.
You're not a good listener.
No, but if I can tell that that's what they're doing. Because some people are really narcissistic about it, and I can tell that I'm being used.
In my head, I'm just putting this all together, and it's not connecting.
What? What?
I feel so bad for our listeners right now because I'm my face is doing horrendous things.
I'm confused. What?
No, because I have so many thoughts in my head right now. So because when you said that, you made me think about one other thing because I was going to give you an example. Me and my one of my surrogate moms, who was with my dad, and my dad never married any of these women, but when they were in my life, they were in my life, and they are in my life. Some of them still, some of them aren't. But be that as it may, but this relationship in particularly had lots of layers where being cut off, being silent, and being unsure where the connection would go after the break in communication would be.
And that was because they weren't in contact with your dad anymore?
No, it was because of certain things that I was doing in my life, certain things that they were doing in their life, certain things that we both were doing in our lives. One of them was, how can I?
So there was a breakdown.
There were so many emotional breakdowns that required individual work to be done outside of outside of what broke you two up.
Right. And so being tentative and walking on eggshells about whether or not you could come back, like a stray cat, that makes sense.
Yeah. So when you said something, for me, what re-engage the communication and for me to reconnect with them was that something made me think of them.
Yeah.
And for me, you helped me answer the question that we talked about in a couple episodes. It's like, why, when I couldn't answer the question of being like, well, why do you still hang out with that person? Da, da, da. I'm like, because they provided something so strong that I there's nothing I can really explain to you because you weren't there to participate and you didn't get the sensation of what that foundational thing was to bind them to your memory, I guess. Mm-hmm. And then that memory leads you to an emotional joy. Mm-hmm. Even though you've had falling outs and things like that, there's still something that, like she gave me the moment of me being in the room when my twin sister was having my niece. Like, if she didn't exist in that moment in my father's life, then to instill him to be like, you need to bring all your kids together type of thing, I would have missed that moment in my sister's life. Mm-hmm. Because me and my father didn't get along when we just whatever. Right. And, his behavior on certain things, I just couldn't get with. I was just kind of like, I'm too old for this shit. Sorry. But, her presence in his life became a presence in my life. And whatever they work on internally didn't have shit to do with our connection. So though it's being displayed in other ways, the lack and increase of their inner work for themselves and whatever else, and what it does when other people see our relationship on the outside, that's why. And I think that I was able to answer that. But yes, it is sometimes it was in those moments of like, we have to stop communicating. We have to stop engaging. I have to walk away, or you got to walk away, whatever it is. There has to be an unplug of some sort. But there was something that tethered us infinitely around each other all the time.
Well, sure. But when I say stop communicating or cutting somebody off, like there's a difference between like cutting somebody off and just saying like, you could just be like, respectfully, I need less of you in my life, you know, or just circumstantially, like
I had to get to that place.
Yeah, because like how do I do this? If no, I'm trying to think of an example. I don't do that very often. No, I'm very hot.
I've got tons of examples.
I think there probably is an appropriate example, and I just don't have one.
Okay.
In my life.
Okay. How would you?
Oh no. Oh, maybe.
I was gonna give you a fun one.
So I have a family, childhood friend who's like a family friend. Our parents grew up. Oh, I gotta be careful with that. One of my parents grew up with one of this person's parents, and
have we briefly talked about this?
No. Never.
Okay.
And me and this person are about the same age, and we kind of grew up in tandem together for a little bit. Like, spent a lot of time at my house, at least, and like there was like a lot of common ground that we shared for quite a while. But we never really were like close friends. It was more like we just like we had to hang out because our parents were hanging out, kind of deal, at my house. So it was a lot
by
of
association.
Yeah, right. And I don't necessarily I didn't really keep touch with this person growing up. You know what I mean? But like when we were friends as kids, like we were very opposite, and like we could hang out and share the same space, and we could talk and be around other people. But like if I had to choose, this person would not necessarily be like, oh yeah, my friend so and so. Like I wouldn't be like excited. Like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like they're a great person. I got really like no real issues that I can say that I have with them because I don't spend much time with them. Like, who am I to talk about their life and who they are? Because I don't really get much about them. We've lost contact since I was probably like 10, 11, like really young, right?
Yeah, sure.
But if this person walked into my life again now, based off of what I knew about them when we were kids and little tidbits and updates that I got through adulthood from my parent.
I was like, you need some more data.
You know what I mean? Like, we'd had some updates from that person's parent to my parent to me. You know what I mean? And so there's like, from what I know about that and as kids and whatever, like if they entered into my life again, I probably wouldn't just like slam the door. I would test the waters. You know, that's probably as middle ground lukewarm as I could get. That's the only example I have in my life right now.
Again, hashtag bullshit bootcamp.
I know that there's bullshit to be had. That's why.
Still,
but I already know. Like,
that was one of the bricks that go into the dorm room of the bullshit boot camp.
Yeah.
Room. Like,
there's bullshit to be had.
Yeah. So I kind of want to get your take on Actually, I already know the answer, so there's no point even bringing that story up.
But you could.
I'm going to.
Okay, because it's for them anyway.
Yeah, it's for them. So I had a situation again. Now, not with a person that was interchangeably family. It was a friend, and me and this friend met when I was younger. I was like in my late 20s, I was in my early 30s. I was dating someone I was with. I met this person at a bar who he happened to work there, and apparently everybody was like trying to like, oh my god, it's so and so, and I was like, you're cute, but like you're not like the walls stop moving because you wouldn't. And he had said something to me. He was like, and at gay bars, some bartender, the bar boy, whatever,
they always flirting.
They flirt. So he was like, "You need to stop licking your lips." And I was like, "Okay, first of all, I was like,
my lips are dry. Sorry."
But not only are they dry, I'm drinking alcohol, and
parched.
Yeah, I'm thirsty. Sorry, but it was his way of flirting. But the whole scenario was like, ooh, he talked. I was like, oh my god, get the fuck over yourselves, queens. But whatever. So I'm waiting in line to get into the dance floor area, and then he walks down the stairs. I'm walking up the stairs, he's coming down the stairs, and I happen to do it again, not intentionally trying to get his attention by doing it. And I was like, he's like, I told you. I was like, tell me what? Like, what are you gonna do? Like, make this matter to me. And he wrote his phone number down. And everybody was like, apparently, like, the guys who like try to like, I'm gonna get that guy's number one day.
Oh, and you just got it.
And then
that tells you a lot about the way that he sees himself.
Yes. And it leads into a whole lot of the shit, and I'm trying to protect their life as best as I can because, as much as I know that it was good for me to just walk away from them, I still, again, like we just talked about it, like just because we're not friends means you have an enemy. So I don't want to like demonize him, but
just because you called him.
Yeah, because I feel like we became friends. First we had this very weird navigation around what was happening because I left my boyfriend at the time, not for him, for other reasons because I was.
And they just happened to line up around the same time.
And the timing of our exchange wasn't like I feel like it wasn't coincidence. The universe was like, this is funny. Let's do this to you. Right. And we became friends, but it was unclear. He always had people, I think everyone, except the people that he was like in a different circle of community with at a distance. Like you never fully knew who, what, where, how, why he was the way that he was. He was a workaholic. He on paper and in person and in conversation, they were busy, so to speak. And they worked hard. Like he works hard. He works hard. He worked hard for a lot of the stuff that he had. But, there was a lot of ego, so much ego. And there was a lot of, he was not used to people just being like flat out truth for him. Like, you sound fucking crazy, or you found that fucking stupid. Or I'd be like, don't get on my phone with that. Like, I'm not going to stroke that ego. Like, oh, that fish is not in this pond, so stop fishing for it. Like, it's just like, don't do it with me. But he also was one of those people that also held me to this accountable, like, how we do it now, he would just blatantly do it. He would not allow me to run. He would not allow me to be like, you're making me do something difficult, and I'm going to run the other way. He would literally already be on the other side as I was turning to walk away, be like, where are you going? Like, that was who he was for me. And some of it was helpful. Some of it was not. Yeah, like cornering a caged lion. Yeah, he would do that. But he was also a lion, so he could corner the same species, and take a beating or here and there, and still be like, I'm still here. And trust me, that was like a little nick.
What's your question?
My question was, when I started to realize that all of that was not enough to maintain a real friendship, it was always like
A circumstantial friendship?
it was super circumstantial. And then when it turned into a beneficial circumstance to me where they're willing to invest in my business, um, I, huh?
I think you might have mentioned this
I
person
did.
before.
I think I
Okay,
might have.
okay,
And
okay.
then when it came time for me to do business and personal,
The other person cannot.
no, I could not.
Oh, you could not.
I like I just started really walking through the path of self-respecting my time.
So you went all business.
No,
No?
I would hold them accountable to the things they said. If you said something and you didn't do it and you didn't let me know that you couldn't or couldn't make it or whatever, kind of things that are on your bullshit meter, like if you waste my time, I'm done.
Yeah.
He had two of those in the same like month, and one of them was my 40th birthday, and that was right as the deal was about to be enacted. And
so personal.
Yeah,
things.
personal traits that I was like, hold on, I've let this slide, and I've talked to you about how that behavior makes me feel, and I'm giving you an opportunity to change it because I never used to tell you that would make me feel some type of way. Mm-hmm. So I communicated saying, I hate when you put me in these situations. It makes me feel like I don't matter or like you don't value my time when you put me in these situations, but I prepared space, time, and acceptance for you, and you still behave in a manner in which it doesn't matter to you. Mm-hmm. And there's no apology, there's no sense of regret, there's no sense of remorse, and there's no sense of changing. So after the second time and the deal in the middle of that, I was like, okay, no, there's no point in me even pursuing anything further with this person. And the response I got when I said that, because I had just finished the book of boundaries. I finally understood like this has to be a boundary. We've talked about it. When you do this and don't even like do the steps to say, hey, something come up, like some type of communication to let me know what was going on. When you still can't even recognize that would be all I would be asking for. It's not about that you couldn't come or whatever, you couldn't do what you said you're going to do. Something of acknowledgement, I cannot do it. Yeah, I respect you so much more by you saying, thank you for thinking about me, but I got this going on. Mm-hmm. Great. That means you value my time and you know that I matter and you matter.
Don't string me along and then not commit. Yeah.
So then when I said, okay, you cannot exist in my reality anymore. I want you, like, again, can be friends and I want you to eat, but just not at my table anymore. Mm-hmm. And his response was like, okay, that's fine. Like, literally, and I'm talking like 10, 13 years of friendship. And like, when I was in the hospital, you helped me when I was like on like, you had value.
Probably because he knew he was wrong.
Oh yeah. Okay. I later looked at that. I was like, okay, you based on like how ego lived in a lot of his choices, even when he was putting his own health at risk, his ego still drove. And I was like, you could die. Get it over yourself. Like, get over it. Like walk in a reality where this actually matters to you. Just do that. Like, I care about you, which is why I'm bringing it up all the time, but I can only assist. You gotta shoot and score, bud. Mm-hmm. So when I started to put all those together, I was like, okay, I started to ask myself, is this person really worth taking all these risks with? And yeah, I just...
Was your question, how would I have done that? Or what I thought about it?
Like, how would you have walked into it? But I already knew how you would do it, because you'd have been like, no. The first time you blow me off like that?
Oh, I'm going to back it up even further. You said he handed you his number, and there were a bunch of people that him and Hauded about it around you?
Yeah.
Would have handed them his number. I would not have put up with that. If you're telling me right now that this person already done pissed you off at the bar, and you see he treats everybody like that at the bar.
And the thing is, he didn't piss me off. He was just kind of like, he was being flirty and cutesy.
But it wasn't rubbing you the right way. Yeah, obviously.
So, yeah,
it was
like,
not.
I was like, what? Why are you like, you better quick? And I was like, if this is you flirting, it's terrible. Do better.
Okay, but like, it wasn't sitting right. It was still, it was on your nerves just a little bit.
You knew I was with my boyfriend at the time. Like, my boyfriend was like, maybe not, maybe an earshot or whatever.
Oh, okay.
But
So,
like you
even
knew I
better.
wasn't single.
Even better. So
Yeah.
like,
Oh, but I should probably also, but you know, I don't know if this is gonna damage it, but everybody knows. But like, he's married.
yeah. So I just my whole thing is, if that's how he acted, and you saw that he did that with other people, and knowing your circumstance, and you could already tell from day zero that his ego was a problem.
Yeah.
Like his ego was out there, and it was big, and it would take up the room, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like when he did that at that one last little stab when you guys were passing on the stairs, and you were just like if that's the kind of reaction that you had, and someone next to me was like, "Damn," I'll be like, "Take it, bye." Like
bullshit meter.
That's I thought you already knew that.
Bullshit meter.
I didn't expect you to like go to the middle and be like at the first. No, bitch, the phone number. What? Like, why would that person be worth my time?
My life. See, this is why when to walk away from someone is so different for both of us, because you have a different experience with people, behavior, and all of that.
Right. Just checking time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh shit. It's almost 6.
We gotta go.
We have to go. Fuck. We're gonna wrap this up real quick. We can wrap up in 10 minutes. We got this. We got all of it.
Okay. I feel like we're gonna do this.
Yeah.
It's not like we are being kicked out. We just have a schedule that we have to stay on. But I think
we don't want to be rude to the host.
I think the one thing that I wanted to say about this whole topic is that in all of our efforts of what we talked about this whole season, I want people to feel just as empowered to stop.
Yeah.
Like
trust your gut.
Not only that, because I can interject with that. Like, yes, trust your gut, but also fucking do what the gut is telling you to do. Like we all get that tingle. I know for a fact, my gut was telling me, Brandon, I can't make you throw up right now, but your body is throwing up. Your mind, your energy is throwing up around this fucking activity or person or conversation. What are you doing?
What do you think I meant when I said follow your gut?
Yeah, but
trust your gut. What does that mean?
Trust your gut is one thing, because you can trust that the feeling, what you're feeling, is valid. But if you're not acting as your gut is telling you,
how can you trust your gut feeling if you don't then it's not trust. If you trust your gut and your gut is saying that thing, then you do that thing. If you just that's just like if you can listen, but if you trust your gut, you do the thing.
I
think that's.
I have to. I mean, a part of me, yeah, because I trusted and I knew that certain actions were bad for me. I did them anyway, for years, and my gut was telling me every single time. I can tell you every single time I would be able, when I was about to walk into the activity, I had every sensation other than a manifestation of force knocking me out, and I still walked into that door. So I
still think we're splitting hairs about it.
I do.
I think you might come to understand what I mean.
I hope I do, because I maybe this is where a part of my growth is still in play. And this is what happens, I guess, in my experience with trust and belief, and
which we talked about earlier.
Yeah, and self-awareness. Those things for me are still in route. Like I feel like they're
not quite in focus yet.
Yeah, it's like they are in like 1 or 2. Which one is better? Like I'm in that place. Like when you're at the eye doctor, they're like 1 or 2. So right now, all of those are in that little like space, because I think a lot of my stuff, like trusting my body again without like fucking destroying me, trusting my behaviors, my actions, my choices, my validations, and my own no, just because I went through these traumatic, terrible, self-sabotaging, self-damaging times does not mean I do not have value. It does not mean that another person has more value than my opinion or my feelings because of what I've gone through. Though they haven't gone through them doesn't mean that their opinion has more weight or necessity than mine does. So I'm still working through that. But I think it's important for everybody to, like you said, trust when it is time. Don't wait for it to be time. Trust for when it's to be time. Like trust the moment, because that moment's not going to lie to you. And that moment hasn't lied to you.
Or you might not get that window again for a long time.
You will not get that window again. because actually, you won't get that opportunity to walk out that door. You will only have to wait for that window. And sometimes that's you going to and opening yourself. And trust me, that motherfucker is hard to open when that door shuts.
Yeah.
Because when that door shuts, it locks behind itself. You have to find you got to find the fucking window. B, try to figure out how to open that bitch and then walk out of it.
And hope it's not 10 stories up.
And hopefully it's not 10 stories up where you don't fall to your death. So great metaphor, mama.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, guys, but like,
I'm ahead of you. I already got it.
I talk in metaphors, and me and Sierra, she's just. Bam.
I got you.
Bam.
But yeah, if you guys are interested more in like these types of topics, wait for season 2, and we'll see what we got in store for you guys.
Or actually, even more so, give us what you think you want to hear about.
Like, that too.
Like, what do you think would be really cool for us to expand on? I mean, you've heard us talk for the last
however many hours
this is.
Yeah.
So like, check out our Instagram, S.T.I.L Podcast, or our Facebook, S.T.I.L Podcast, or our YouTube channel, S.T.I.L Podcast, and just like share what you want us to, what you would be excited to hear us talk about, or even things that who you would like to see on our show, or if we could do that.
Oh, here, I've got one for you.
Yeah.
Tell us what you're passionate about and what you want to hear.
Yes.
What are you passionate about right now?
Because I really think that actually
that helps when we start.
Also, as you just said that, I just think of the topic around season 2 should be about passions.
Passions? Yeah. Okay, we could do that.
Like, I think passion.
So that'll be the theme.
Yeah.
Communication was a theme this season. So how about passions? What you're passionate about will be the next season.
And then we can just talk about ish
with some Navy tangents about shit in a bucket here and there.
Because that's a passion. Because the way that she talks about it and what we learned about this season.
How often that shit happens, you would think it was a passion sometimes.
But passion. So stay tuned for season 2, which is all about the power and perceptions of passions.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.